Ole Miss fans need a hotel for the game weekend? Many OTAs keep all the commissions, but at Fan Plans, you still get your loyalty points, receive direct confirmation from the hotel, and you support Rebel Grove. Visit fanplans.com/Rebel Grove today.
Welcome to yet another edition of the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. I'm Neil McCready. That is Greg Jones of LB's Meat Market, Campbell McCready of Zen Studios. Greg jumping in with his ice cream. Hey, it worked last week. You should keep.
Yeah, that's why I brought it out. I mean, 5-2.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get the bragging out of the way. We'll tell you about LB's in a minute, but I think this deserves bragging above LB's at this moment. You both go 5-2 last week on a week that was a very problematic week. A lot of people took an L throughout college football gambling. There were a lot of just backdoor covers and it's a nightmare. And the two of you just cruised 5-2.
Actually go about our business.
Campbell, you sort of knew it all along, didn't you? You just
Yes. Well, I was ready. I was looking at it all weekend, so I was ready and I expected it. So
well, there you go. I'm glad to hear it. You both moving closer to the 500 mark now. Greg, you're 42-46. Campbell, you're 43-45. There's 10 games on the slate this week. It's realistic that you're both 500 or better when we do this again.
I heard that we paid for Christmas gifts last year.
That's right. And so people are expecting, as Houston Nutt used to say, Greg, people are expecting a November to remember. The pressure is on the two of you. First, we'll tell you about LB's Meat Market, 2008, University Avenue in Oxford, right across from Kroger. Let Kroger be your landmark and nothing more. I had to go into Kroger today to get stuff that you can't get at LB's, and it was just no. I'd rather be at LB's. So LB's over there, the freshest cuts. If you're coming into town, if you're this week, Ole Miss isn't playing. Maybe you're planning to enjoy the great slate of games that's on TV. There's no better way to spend your Saturday than grilling.
The Breeders' Cup is this weekend.
Breeders' Cup this weekend. There's a lot going on. World Series, perhaps, game 6 and 7, Saturday and Sunday. Who knows? Campbell, do you know who's in the World Series this year?
the Astros
Yeah.
and I don't know who else.
The Philadelphia.
Friends from Texas.
Yeah, I have friends from Houston.
The Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies are in the World Series. It's tied 1-1 as we tape this on a Tuesday. All right, so like I said, freshest cuts of beef, chicken, pork, house-made sausages, incredible wings. Ask me how I know. Jalapenos, the mushrooms, everything, bacon-wrapped asparagus. It's all there at LB. So if you're spending your weekend just hanging out, watching the games, watching the Breeders' Cup, watching the World Series, whatever the case may be, highly recommend LB's. We'll let Greg tell you of contact information a little bit later in the show. Y'all ready to get rolling with another slate?
Yeah, 10 games. Let's go.
All right, we're going to start with the service academies because I think sometimes we should just honor the men and women who fight for our country. It's the Air Force facing Army. This game's at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington, which I don't know where that is. Must be nice. Air Force. Greg, we'll let you go first this week. Air Force is a 6.5-point favorite over Army.
I'm gonna go with Air Force, just because I think I would like to fly a jet if I could, or maybe be in the back of one, not be in control of one. But yeah, I think what would be cool, a bucket list thing would be is do a flyby over a football game. I think that'd be a fun bucket list thing to do.
That would be cool. Campbell, Greg's going to take Air Force. He's going to lay 6.5. What do you think?
I'll go with the Army, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Just because I'll go against Greg on this one.
Campbell wants to go on the ground.
Yeah, she
does. A little more of a ground attack. She's been watching Arkansas football. They run, and she's just on the Army. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Campbell. It's Kentucky coming off a blowout loss at Tennessee. One you predicted. You got a game on that one. Kentucky is a 2-point favorite at Missouri. Missouri beat South Carolina last week. This is an 11 a.m. game on the SEC network.
I'll go with Missouri.
Oh, Campbell going to go with the Red Hot Tigers. Greg, what do you think?
No, I'm going to stick with Kentucky. You know, just went against me and with Rippy's pod. I went against the Saints last week, and look what happens. They win 24-0. So I probably should go with Missouri to get Kentucky back on track. But I like Will Levis, and I'm gonna go with Kentucky. So we might as well disagree on the both first ones out to get.
All right, there you go. Okay, let's see. Two teams that are both 1-4 in the SEC. Not a lot of people saw this coming. Florida heads to Texas A&M. It's an 11 a.m. game. The Gators got beat by Georgia. Texas A&M, of course, lost to Ole Miss. This is an 11 a.m. game, like I said, on ESPN. Greg, Florida is a 3-point underdog in College Station.
I'm going to go Texas A&M. I think I woke up to Twitter this morning. I think I heard a hot mic from one of the Florida guys and said he's going to be longer here than Billy Napier or short or what something. It wasn't a good one. So I'm going to go with Texas A&M for some strange reason.
All right, Campbell, he's going to take the Aggies and lay the 3. What do you think?
I'll agree with him. I mean, I don't really have a reason for this one. I'll just agree with
you guys. I think the young quarterback for A&M is good. He did some good things against Ole Miss last week. If they'll leave him alone and just let him play, I think the Aggies have enough. All right, Campbell, the big game nationally, one of the big games, but the biggest game. Number 2, Tennessee. They head to play to Athens to face top-ranked Georgia. This is a 2:30 game Central Time on CBS. The Volunteers, fresh off that win over Kentucky, are an 8-point underdog against the top-ranked Bulldogs. What do you think?
I'll go with Georgia since it's at home for them, and Tennessee is orange out of the two. So I'll go with Georgia.
Strong analysis there, Greg. She's going to go with the Bulldogs. She's going to lay the 8 points against the Vols. What do you think?
I'm on agree with her. I like Georgia. I just think that how high can Tennessee be after winning against Alabama at home and then having a little cupcake. This is a big game, and we'll see. But I just think Georgia's 2 touchdowns better than them.
Interesting. I haven't decided which way I'm going with that. I'm leaning in that direction, but I haven't decided as of this moment. All right, 23rd ranked Liberty. They head to Fayetteville, Greg, to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas coming off that win at Auburn. It's a 3:00 game on the SEC network. Liberty. What's their mascot? The Flames?
Flames.
Yeah, Liberty Flames, whatever. And Jerry Falwell, Jerry's wife, the pool boy. Yeah, everybody involved in this. Liberty, a 14-point underdog at Arkansas.
I'm going to go to Arkansas. Just, maybe this is Hugh Freeze's last game at Liberty and he takes the Auburn job. That'd be awesome.
Campbell, will swing to you since we're talking about Liberty now. What do you think? You got Greg's going to take Arkansas. I'm going to guess you will as well.
Yes, definitely. Gonna go with Arkansas.
Neither of you even massaged that pick at all. You just went right to it. You just picked it. You didn't call it hours earlier and spend time waiting for it to arrive. And you didn't come up with all sorts of explanations. No burner phones. You just went right to the pick, going with Arkansas.
That's what the customer wants. I mean, they want 5 and 2 every week and, Christmas presents at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yep. I'll stop now. All right. The next big SEC game. Campbell's like, I'm not really sure what all this is about. But
no, I know.
Okay, good. Good. Alabama, Campbell, is a 13.5-point favorite in Baton Rouge against the 15th ranked LSU Tigers. Both of these teams had last week off. They ought to be good and rested. 6:00. It's going to be good and drunk in Baton Rouge. This game on ESPN. What do you think? Alabama, 13.5-point favorite.
I'll go with Alabama. Always pick Alabama for the most part.
All right, Greg, she's going to take the Tide and lay 13.5 on the road in Baton Rouge. What do you think?
Well, I know it's all intimidating at 6:30 in Baton Rouge, and everybody's all sober and everything, and they've been, hanging around a garbage can, drinking water. So, with that being said, I think Alabama's just going to put them to sleep after halftime, and hopefully, Tiger Stadium empties after the third quarter.
Okay, you're both going with the favorites in these games and laying points without even a moment's hesitation. I like it. All right, Greg, we go to Notre Dame here. Notre Dame is playing host to fifth-ranked Clemson. Clemson is a 3.5-point favorite in South Bend. This game's on 6:30 on NBC.
I'm going to go with Clemson. I got a feeling that she's going to take Notre Dame, so we might as well. We've been agreeing on too much, so we got to go. We got to probably have some differences here. So I'm going to take Clemson.
All right, Campbell, he's challenging you here to take Notre Dame, to take the Fighting Irish. They're coming off a big win at Syracuse. They're getting 3.5 points at home. Marcus Freeman and the Fighting Irish. What do you think?
Well, I didn't really have my mind made up, so I guess Greg kind of made that up for me. So I'll go with Notre Dame.
All right,
Well, they like the color green, and then they were like a friend that went to Notre Dame.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you could say friend, someone that I graduated with. So that counts.
All right.
Well, it worked for you last year, a couple of years ago. So.
Yeah.
You got a lot of luck out of Notre Dame a couple of years ago. Auburn, Campbell, fired their coach earlier this week. All sorts of talk about who the next coach at Auburn will be. It's a big scandal on the Plains. Maybe it's Hugh Freeze. Auburn, a 10.5-point underdog in Starkville against Mississippi State. This game at 6:30 on ESPN2.
I'll go with Mississippi State. I don't like Auburn very much, so I'll go with Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. Greg, she's going to take the Bulldogs. She's going to lay 10.5. What do you think?
I'm gonna agree with her. I mean, Mississippi. I don't think I've won yet with Mississippi State. Maybe this is the week for us. So I'm just going to take Mississippi State and just keep my toes crossed.
You have your bottle of Grey Goose, Greg?
Yeah.
Because I can't decide whether it was the last game that we just did, Auburn and Mississippi State, or if it's this game. I guess it's this game. Greg,
I might need 2 bottles for this game probably.
South Carolina heads to Nashville to play Vanderbilt. The Gamecocks are a 7-point favorite at whatever they call Vanderbilt Stadium now. 6:30 games, SEC Network. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I got this funny feeling that maybe Vandy's going to do something here. It could just be indigestion, or it could be I haven't eaten anything yet today and I'm kind of hungry and I'm lightheaded. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling something. South Carolina's -7 at Vanderbilt, Greg.
I'll go Vanderbilt for some strange, odd reason.
It's something.
I mean, you kind of talked me into it. I mean, you really did. I don't know if you just trying to pull a plug for Vandy right there, but wow, I think Vandy's the lock of the week for some strange reason.
Oh wow, he's a great looking guy. I don't know if you've seen Clark Lee. I mean, the guy is he's an amazingly handsome man. I mean, I say that in the most heterosexual manner possible. I admire how handsome he is. Have you seen him, Campbell? Clark Lee?
No.
You should Google Clark Lee when you're done. You just amazing how it's.
Was he a former contestant on The Bachelor?
Should have been, if not. He would have ruined that show. Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable. All right, Greg. I mean, Campbell. Greg's going to take Vanderbilt in 7 points.
I'll go with South Carolina.
Oh, Campbell ruined the party.
Sorry.
Ruining the party. Goodness gracious. We were all going to go in on the Clark.
Now, if he was a contestant on The Bachelor, she would be like,
yeah, if there was another angle for me to use with The Bachelor, another reality show, there you go. But
he just knows how bad Vanderbilt is.
I have to stick with my journalism conference and.
You Google, when this is over, you Google Clark Lee Vanderbilt and go to images, and you're going to see this man and think, wow, what an opportunity I wasted. I could have picked him. Instead, I went with Shane Beamer and his head full of brown hair.
Maybe she's a special teams kind of person. Maybe she likes special teams.
Maybe so. I just look at the two guys side by side and tell me how Clark doesn't win. Beats me. All right, last game, Campbell. It's Wake Forest, the 20th ranked Demon Deacons that got beat last week had a really rough second half at Louisville, got beat. They head to Raleigh, North Carolina to play the 21st ranked NC State Wolfpack. This is a game at 7 o'clock on the ACC network. Campbell, Wake Forest is a 3.5-point favorite on the road.
I mean, I don't know. I'll just go with Wake Forest.
Okay.
I don't have a reason here.
Taking the better quarterback after a bad second half. What do you think, Greg?
Well, I'll compare it since the Breeders' Cup this weekend. I'll say give a little horse reference here. So last week with Wake Forest, you just put a line through that race. Just had a bad race. Next race, I like Wake Forest. You just put a scratch line through that last race, and they come back on track.
All right, Greg, give us a Breeders' Cup pick for the weekend.
Oh, wow. There should be some really good races. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to compare the Breeders' Cup. It's basically every horse that it's basically people that bring a gun to a knife fight. So these are people that want to win this race. This is a world championship event. There's horses from Japan. There's all around the world. So there's some really, really good horses. The Flight Line is playing. He's running in the Classic, which that's the big race. And supposedly Flight Line is the next coming of Secretariat. So we'll see. So I know that if anybody doesn't have a clue about horse racing, they know Secretariat. So to be compared to that, that's almost kind of like being compared to Michael Jordan or something like that. So there's a lot of people in Kentucky that are really excited about Flight Line, and it should be a really good one. But I'm a Hot Rod Charlie fan, so I like Hot Rod Charlie. I'm going to go with Hot Rod Charlie in the Classic.
All right, Campbell, what do you have planned for the weekend up there? Got Liberty coming to town. I know that that your dad is cheering for the Hogs pretty hard this weekend for reasons that have nothing to do with y'all being up there.
No big plans, I guess. Just game day stuff, and then just hang out.
All right, you got big working at Zen. I know you got an outdoor class.
I have an outdoor class at 7 tonight, and then that's it for a little bit, I believe.
Okay. All right, Greg, how can people get in touch with you at LB's if they want to get an order together to get set for the weekend?
Always call the store, 662-259-2999. I just got an order for 24 jalapeno. So hadn't told my mom about it. I know how excited she's going to be about the order. She just gets really tickled pink about, when people call in and, because we sell a lot of those mushrooms. And, with Alabama coming in town, I told her, I was like, there's not enough asparagus, mushrooms, and jalapenos you can get, coming up next week that, we're not going to sell. So we'll be prepared. I'm actually just got done doing the ribeye sausage. I did a lamb sausage. I did 45 pounds of Swayze sausage. So hopefully we won't be running out of Swayze sausage. So taking my little ice cream break and talking to y'all for a little bit, and then I'll be back in the saddle making some more sausage.
All right, Greg, I can't wait to see you soon. Get ready for a weekend. If you are traveling anywhere, be safe. And we'll talk to you next week. We'll get ready for Alabama at Ole Miss. It'll be, let's see, you guys, Campbell, it's LSU at Arkansas next week. So there's a lot of big games to talk about next week, too. We'll be back next week, see how Greg and Campbell did on another edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. For Greg Jones, for Campbell McCready, I'm Neil McCready. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.